Okay, is everyone all successfully logged in?
Where's Josh?
Right here. He
Yeah.
doesn't have his.
We just don't see his picture. Yes.
To be on or not?
And Roger just on.
You-
Turners. Okay, turners.
Okay. All right, we're gonna get started. So great that you could all be here tonight, and I know for some of you it's really late. So I just want to welcome you. I'm going to moderate the meeting tonight. I just want to thank you for being here to remember and celebrate my dad.
Last 1 second.
Yes.
Thank you. Nolan had to step away. If you'll just give just a few more minutes.
Oh,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Plus, I
and I just
listeners now.
Tara. Hi, Harley.
Hi.
Oh my goodness.
Mark.
Marshall.
well, I wanted to let everybody know too, we are recording this Zoom. So after we're done,
They're
try to
recording.
get a copy to you if you would
You
like
can
to
watch the
rewatch
copy
it,
of it.
or you would like to send it to somebody who wasn't able to participate tonight. We needed to limit a little bit because if we had just too big of a room, it'd be difficult to keep it condensed. So that's why we wanted to record it for clarity, and as well as we can send it on to people who aren't participating tonight. So we're going to begin with prayer. Then we'll go from there. All right. So, Father, we are so grateful given us tonight to be together, and we thank you for this family. And I thank you for my dad as we're here to honor him. We honor him because we love him and because we love you. And you have given us instruction to honor our parents, that it may go well with us. And so we want to honor him this night, and we want to thank you for his life. And I thank you for all who are able to participate tonight. We pray in Yeshua's name. Amen. Okay, well, give you a little bit of the order of what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to try to keep it as brief as possible, but we're going to begin. I'm going to give a short little biography of Dad's life, and then there's going to be a slide show presentation. After that time, we're going to open it up for anybody who would like to share anything. Then we're going to end with a video. So that's the order of events tonight. And I just want to ask a favor as well. If you wouldn't mind muting your audio settings so that we don't have background noise or interrupting. We definitely want to hear from you. It's not that we don't want to hear from you. We want you to unmute yourself when you're ready to say something. But we would ask to just keep that on mute so that we don't lose any of the audio and we're able to take in everything that's being said. Okay. All right. I thank you. Appreciate that. And then when we have the open mic time, you can just unmute yourself and share, or if there's any other thing that you'd like to share during the time, which is totally fine. There's also the chat room. You can send a question, or if something is not working, let's say you're not getting audio or you missed something, we'll try to respond to your chat as well. So, okay. All right. Well, Father Larry J. Rostocil. I'm going to share a few facts about his life. Most of them you probably know. There might be a few that you don't. He was born in Hays, Kansas on April 10th, 1939. His father's name is Theodore, and his mother is Bernice. And he had an older brother named Donald, who was, I believe, 5 years older. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was 5, maybe 6 years older. I think it was
Grandma
5.
said 7.
7. Thank you. Thank you. 7 years older, Donald. Dad was the youngest of two. Interesting little factoid. Dad's grandparents on the Rostocil side, so his father's side, were from Czechoslovakia. His grandmother migrated over here when she was a teenager, and his grandfather was born here in the U.S., but both of his parents were from Czechoslovakia, which is where the Rostocil name comes from. Is a Czech. Rostocil is Czechoslovakian. When Dad was really young, he moved several times as a small boy He was born in Kansas. They moved to Washington, D.C., where his father was doing some work. They were there a short time, and then they moved to Atlanta, where they were there for, I think, a year, maybe a little longer. Dad has faint memories of Atlanta, but shortly thereafter, they moved to Berkeley, which is where he grew up. He went to elementary school, junior high, and high school. By the way, is my audio a problem? I'm getting a text from my wife. Is everybody able to hear me?
You sound great.
Just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay, so Dad grew up in Berkeley. Couple of the significant events when he was a younger boy. He was water baptized when he was 9 and at the local Assembly of God church. So that was a significant event for him. He decided to follow the Lord at a young age. But at the age of 14, his father, Theodore, who we called Teddy, who's called Teddy, his father had a heart attack and passed away. And Dad said that that had a really profound effect on his life. You can imagine, he was 14. But he said just scholastically, emotionally, developmentally, stopped a lot of things in his life. And so I think he had a lot of trauma and grief through that season of his life. But he said that his grades declined and he was kind of, lost a little as far as a purpose in life. When he was in high school, he did odd jobs here and there. He was a stock boy. He worked as a grocery clerk. He worked as a gas station attendant. Remember those people that would come out and, clean your window and put your gas in your car? But one of his major hobbies with him and his brother were cars. They loved cars. They loved working on cars. They loved racing cars. So Dad was definitely into cars. When he was in high school, I believe a traveling ministry group, a singing group, came to his church, and I think that they were from Bethany Bible College, came and ministered at his church, and they had such a profound effect on his life that when he graduated high school, he graduated from Berkeley High in 1957, he committed to go to Bethany Bible College. And so he went to Bethany Bible College. He graduated in 1962. He got a degree, a Bachelor of Science in Pastoral Theology and a minor in missions. And it was at Bethany, that he met my mom, Janet McFarland, and it was only 5 months after graduation that they were married. And that happened in November 1962. My parents settled in the South Bay area, and one of the more significant parts of their life is they were faithful members of Sunnyvale First Assembly of God Church, later called South Bay Christian Center. And they were heavily involved there. And that had a profound effect upon our family, upon my mom and my dad, and all of us as kids. My dad was a trustee. He was a treasurer. He was a deacon. He, for a season, sang in the choir. He taught Sunday school. In fact, I remember as a boy, my parents were my Sunday school teachers, which was a cool experience. As you all know, Dad was an accomplished carpenter. He was a licensed contractor. He had his own business. He started in 1967. His own construction business was LJ Rostocil Construction Company. My dad built many different houses, residential, commercial buildings, townhomes, condos, custom-built house, some of which we ended up living in. Dad was very successful in that area. He just had a knack for that. As far as hobbies, Dad loved to hunt and fish, as we all know. He just loved being outdoors. He loved shooting guns, and he taught us boys how to hunt and fish, and we really enjoyed that. He's also, I didn't know this, but my mom had reminded me that he was sort of a World War II, not an expert, but he loved to study World War II, and he loved to talk about the World War II, and he'd watch movies and read books, and he just had an interest in war and war movies and war history, so that he could talk about with friends at parties World War II, which was, and I remember he always had interesting stories about World War II, though he didn't serve in the military at all. He did have a fascination with that. He also enjoyed boating and water sports, water skiing. We did a lot of that growing up. So as you know, Mom and Dad had 4 children, Christy, Kathy, Brad, and myself. They have 13 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. Am I getting my facts right, everybody? Not missing anybody? Okay. We won't throw in the dogs because they don't really count, but they're part of the family anyways. But 4 children, 13 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren, and counting. In 1997, Dad moved to Fruitland, Idaho. And it was at that point in his life that he really began to do a lot more studying of the Word and a desire to grow deeper in his walk with the Lord. He attended basic and advanced courses. If you remember, he went to Elijah House, which is sort of a inner healing, deliverance sort of ministry, as well as a theophostic school. He talked a lot about that ministry and how it had an effect on his life. He was a certified public mediator. He did earn a doctorate in divinity from the University Life Church. So that's kind of a cool factoid. He was technically a doctor, so we could call him Dr. Rostocil. I know he probably would like that term. In 2006, he moved to Reading, and he continued to study and grow and look to minister to those around him. Dad was always conscious to share the gospel with anyone and everyone. Whether you're at the store, he would tell a joke and then share the gospel, or and so he really had a passion to be a light to others. It was in Reading that he attended and facilitated divorce care classes, which had a profound effect upon him. He found a lot of benefit from that, and he wanted to be a blessing to others in that area. He was an active member of the American Association of Christian Counselors. He was a board-certified pastoral counselor, an ordained minister, and he served as a chaplain at Shasta County, which he got to ride around with some of the squad cars and minister to people. One of his probably most prized license was his license to carry a concealed weapon. Yeah, Dad loved to have a weapon with him always. I always remember that. Anywhere in the house, there was a weapon within, a few feet, it seemed like. And so he liked having a weapon on him. Thankfully, he never had to use it on anyone, but he was prepared if he had to, or he had to protect somebody. So he was licensed to carry, which was a really a thing that he really enjoyed having. I think it was in 2021 when he was diagnosed with a heart issue. He underwent successful heart surgery. He had a stent and a procedure done. But that was sort of when things, maybe his health began to take a turn after that. And it was in 2022 that he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and it had metastasized to his stomach. He went through 12 rounds of chemo. And then after the chemo, he was done. He didn't want to do any more chemo. And so he passed February 26th, early in the morning. That was a Monday morning, I believe. So he lived a rich, full life. Today, he would have been 85 years old. So he lived a very long life, a very fulfilling life, and he was very much loved. And in just a second, we're going to watch a slideshow. But I just want to share. Maybe I'll just take a second to share about my dad. Growing up, admittedly, I didn't have a great relationship with Dad. Sometimes we just emotionally didn't connect. It seemed like we would speak different languages, or we had different interests. And so sometimes we butted heads, and, it wasn't so much probably on my dad. It was probably me. I was very strong-willed. I was a little bit rebellious. So growing up, I don't know that I had a really emotionally close relationship with Dad, and I wanted one. And, I was probably disappointed sometimes in him because there was an image that I wanted him to be as a father for me. I had a view of how he should be. And it wasn't until I got older that I could really accept him for who he is. Dad is a wonderful person, not without his faults, like all of us. And I guess now is not the time to share any of those. But as we got older and as I got older and as I was able to just accept him for who he is and not for who I wanted him to be or expected him to be, um, I think my heart opened to him more so. And as I got older and more mature, and hopefully more like Christ, he certainly grew and became more like Christ. And towards the last 5 years, we had a really, really great relationship, a relationship that I always wanted to have with him. And he said things that I always wanted to hear, and I was able to say things to him that I've always wanted to say. And so when he passed, I just felt a really contentment in my heart towards the relationship that we had, and it was close, and I really loved him, and I knew he loved me. And for years, he had been saying he was proud of me and that he loved me, and it was genuine. And so I was glad for our relationship that it really grew over the years. And my dad was a wonderful dad to me, and so I honor him and I remember him and celebrate his life. So with that, we are going to go into a slide presentation that Brianna has put together. Thank you, Brianna, for that. So let's enjoy that.
Right, bear with me as I get it put up on here. Oh. It's good to see you all. Okay, I think I'm gonna do this actually. Here. Share sound. Up here. No, here we are.
Oh, great.
And isn't. And here we go.
salad, okay?
Pasta ravioli.
Official. Okay.
Um, great.
Pasta ravioli.
Official. Okay.
Papa loved the pasta visual, but he would call it pasta fagioli. We were watching memories.
It's got some spices in here. That's at my old house, right?
Yes. That was back when me and Brittany were living with you.
That's my favorite chair. I'd sit there and watch everybody. That 80th was so special to see everybody there. And we loved that everybody came. It's not all over me. What's wrong with you, Brittany? Here. Do it on your arm. Of course, I grew up, and as I grew up, before my dad died, I started being academic, and I started being coordinated. Actually, I could have been a gymnast,
Wow.
but at that time, because I had worked out swings, parallel bars. I'd go over to school, work on the parallel bars and the rings, and climb around, stuff like that. And I built my body up from being premature. And at that time, my academic came back. Well, guess what? When my father died, I fell in the dump. I started getting into car stuff, helped my brother. Started when I was 16, I started building up cars to race, drag. I loved to drag race. Sometimes I went to the drag strips. Sometimes we had a place out in Richmond that we could go out, a large pavement area, and drag race out there. And I was into rock and roll music. And when that quartet came, I was 18, about ready to graduate from high school. A quartet came from Bethany Bible College and sang. And I said, this is wonderful music. I'll try to get away from that country, they call it hillbilly country music of my brother. I had to listen. My mother and dad never had music at home. I never had music until I was in high school. And I finally joined the choir, and that's got introduced to music. And I had a lot of music when I went to Bible college. I wanted to go to Bible college because my father wasn't here. I wanted to know what my Heavenly Father wanted me to do. Yeah. And that was what put me in a solid rock and living for God. Yeah, I gave up rock and roll music. I gave up drag racing, and I went and concentrated on college. So that's a story. Sorry, I probably repeated a lot of things, but I threw in the Philip Morris story to give you a little laugh.
Yeah.
So we have prayer going, but guess what? 84 years old.
Yeah.
I've lived past 79, which is my average age. That's the average age for a man to die now. Yeah. 79. I've lived past that, and nobody lives forever. At 83 and a half, almost half, I can't figure that God, could just call me home. So I've gotten perfect peace through all that long story. A long life, all the challenges I had, not being faithful, but the challenges I had, I fully have faith that if God heals me, I can be a witness here in my place. If not, I go to heaven. I'm glad we had this long talk where we shared a lot of things. And what's at the very end, I have a wonderful family. And they're following the Lord. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
I'll let you get on with life. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. Bye.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Is that the end?
That's done.
Oh, that was beautiful. So well done, Brianna. Thank you for putting that together. That was really had laughs. We had tears. You took us back. Got to hear his voice. Thank you for that. That's very special and memorable. Very, very well done. We're going to transition into a time of being able to open it up for people to share what they'd like to share. We're going to start with the kids. So we're going to go from oldest to youngest. So Christy, I'm going to give the floor to you. So just remember, everyone, keep your button on mute. And Christy, don't forget to unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you guys. It's so good to see you. My message from me is to Dad. So, Dad, I wish you were here with us to celebrate your birthday and make us all laugh the way you were so good at doing. I love thinking back on all the memories of your time here on Earth. Thank you for the joy you gave us. Happy birthday, Dad, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And say hi to Grandma. That's it.
Thank you, Christy. Kathy, you're up next.
Okay. I'm gonna move up here. Mine's a little bit longer than Christie's, but I wanted to write a few things, and I just thank you so much for joining us. As Christy said, it's so great to see all our family together, and today's Dad's birthday, and that's part of the reason we did this for tonight. And I wrote mine to Dad as well. Do you want to look at this?
Well, that's where the camera is.
Okay, I'm gonna look here. A tribute to my amazing dad. Happy birthday in heaven. What an amazing dad you were to me. So grateful I had the honor of being your daughter and counted it an honor and a blessing to be your kid. I was always so proud of you, and I only wanted to make you proud of me. I'm grateful for so many things, but let me list a few. Thank you for how you loved me, all that you sacrificed for me, how you cared for me, provided for me, protected me. Thank you for your wisdom, even times when I didn't want to hear it. And for all that you taught me about life and your studies. And thank you for your support and cheers as I matured as a child, growing up into a woman, but also a believer. I want to thank you for being a man of character, for your integrity and your hard work ethic. You taught me so much by your example and the way you lived life. I want to thank you for always being generous towards us kids and for being there in time of need. I will forever be grateful. You always wanted the best for us kids and made sure we were well taken care of. Thank you for making sure we went on family vacations. The month-long motorhome trip will always be a highlight for me, as well as introducing me to my favorite place on earth, Yosemite National Park. I have so many fond memories of my childhood, partly because of you. Thank you so much for making sure that the dysfunction of your childhood didn't pass on to our generation. You and Mom made sure to cut off and protect us, and I will forever be grateful for that. We grew up in a safe, secure, loving home because of that. I also want to thank you so much for keeping us in church all those years, for it forever impacted my life. And thank you for staying faithful to one church through thick and thin and through many changes. It definitely grounded me and made me a lasting impact in my life. And because of that, I have friendships that are like family that have lasted a lifetime. Not only were you a handsome man, but you were so talented and you could do anything you set your mind to do. You were amazing with your hands and carpentry skills, and I look back amazed at the houses that you were able to build. Thank you for your help in fixing things in some of the houses Nolan and I lived in. You are so talented, and in later years, you were amazing at building up people. Your learning, healing, and teaching gave you tools to help people get unstuck. You could have allowed traumas you faced to cause you to shrink back, but instead you used it to help make you a better person and to help others get better. You then shifted from building houses to building people and building bridges to help people facing trauma. Such a beautiful thing God did to use your mess and bring a message of hope and encouragement to others. And eternity forever will tell the impact you've had on the earth. I want to thank you also for making life fun and being a prankster and enjoying laughter. I think I got that from you. You weren't a grumpy old man, except for maybe the last few days when you weren't feeling so well, and that's okay. You were struggling. But your life brought so much smile and laughter and fun wherever you went. One last thing. We happened to be there the day they were digging the hole to put your casket in. And I stayed to talk to two of the guys that were doing it. They didn't know why we were there, but later I told them that that was my dad they were digging the hole for. And they said they were sorry. And I said, I'm not, because he's not there. It's just my dad's earthly body being put there. He is in heaven. And in fact, he would want me to tell you that eternity is real and heaven is real, and to make sure you're ready for eternity. I then went on to share about Jesus, and both of them let me pray with them before I left. And eternity will tell if they receive Jesus in their hearts. But I knew, Dad, you'd be proud, and you would have done the same thing. Dad, I will miss your love, your encouragement, your kind words, your phone calls, your messages to my voicemail, and the conversations and wisdom you shared, as well as the flashlights and pocket knives. I love you so much, Dad, and I'll see you again in heaven.
Thank you, Kathy. Brad? Brad, are you on here? Would you like to share something?
We can see you, but not sure that we can hear you.
Check your audio setting. Yeah, we're not hearing anything, Brad. Okay.
Do you hear me now?
There we go.
Okay, I'm jumping on Josh's phone.
That works.
Well, I didn't really prepare something, and who can think straight after Kathy's tribute to Dad? But I just want to say, first of all, thank you everybody for joining, and just how much I miss and love Dad. You know, he taught me a lot about construction. I went to work for him when I was in high school and college, and we worked full time with him after that. And he definitely taught me the value of hard work and the hard work ethic. And he taught me to hunt, a passion that I have and passed on to my kids. And so I really enjoyed all our times hunting. And then when my family moved here to Reading in 2003, a couple of years later, he joined us here. And so he had been here for the last 17 and a half years in Reading with my family. And it was a blessing to have him a part of our lives. And just, Dad, I love you and I miss you and look forward to seeing you someday.
Thanks, guys. Well said. Thank you, Brad, Kathy, and Christy, for those heartfelt words. We're going to open it up for others to share. I do know my mom did want to say something. This might be a good time, Mom, for you to share what you'd like to share, and then we'll open it up to the other family members.
Am I close enough to the mic?
Yes, you are.
Well, I'm going to repeat quite a bit of stuff that's already been said, but I can't get away from my script, so you'll just have to hear it again. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad that we have Zoom technology so that we could make this, bring us all together tonight to remember Larry, Dad, or Papa, as the grandkids called him, and celebrate his almost 85 years of life. He was truly a unique man and will never be forgotten. I'm sure stories about him will continue on to the next generation. I met Larry, my freshman, in his sophomore year at Bethany Bible College. Not ever talking with him before, one day he came up to me with some of his friends and he said, "I bet I can kiss you without touching you." I said, "Okay." He quickly kissed me on the cheek and flipped me a dime, walking away laughing loudly. I'm sure we all remember that boisterous laugh as we have heard it so often over the years. I found him not only to be good looking, but had a great physique from working as a carpenter. He drove a fast new Ford Fairlane car that all the students envied, and he was a fun and outgoing guy. That was all I needed to be attracted to him. Interesting note, after our honeymoon and we got back to San Jose, the first thing that happened is we sold the new car and bought an older Volkswagen. Go figure. We began spending time together that summer after we met and were married 3 years later. His marriage proposal went like something like this: "When are we going to get married?" I didn't need to answer a question or have opportunity to say yes or no. I was already had my mind made up and I was willing and ready. We were married 9 months later. Although we've had our differences and struggles over the years, ending in divorce 35 years later, we had a connection for a total of 65 years, sharing kids, grandkids, and mutual friends that we both loved. It won't be the same without him here with us. My heart will always have a hole in it with his passing. At Bethany, he was known for his many pranks. One time he opened his window in the men's dorm that faced the courtyard full of students. He took out his pistol and shot at a girl walking by. She suddenly fell to the ground. Everyone watching this panicked in horror. Screams radiated throughout the campus. Some watchers ran to the girl. The others went to report the incident to the school office. The girl was okay. In a few minutes, she stood to her feet. This was a prank planned ahead of time by the two of them. Yes, it was a real gun, and yes, a real loud gunshot was heard in every part of the campus, but it was not a real bullet. It was a blank bullet. And oh yes, you're asking, he was disciplined by the school administrator, and yes, he has had his gun taken away. And yes, this is not the first nor the last time he got in trouble for his craziness. I'm sure one of the main things we'll miss is his practical jokes and playful, impish ways. During our years at Bethany, he had way too much fun to be serious about his studies. But after a few years of us being married with a couple of kids, he became more mature and went back to Bethany to receive his pastoral theology degree. He was so proud of this accomplishment that he had his business cards made up listing his name as Reverend Larry Rostocil. He formed his own contracting business called L.J. Rostocil Construction, Inc. in 1967. I faithfully served as his secretary and accountant over the next 30 years. He was known all over Santa Clara Valley as a master builder. Why? Because all the walls had to be straight and his work was constructed accuracy and to perfection by his own and other people's estimation. He built 4 beautiful homes for our family over the years. However, in these projects, our family worked as a team. He did the planning and the construction. I became his assistant and decorator, and you kids, if you remember, had to help with cleanup, yard work, and dump runs. Besides,
we tarred the side of the house.
Tarred the side of the house. Besides working together on projects, we had some great family times with camping, motorhome trips with our new motorhome breaking down twice, water skiing with the kids and friends, houseboating with friends and family, attending many sporting events with 4 children, trips to relatives in Oregon with the car breaking down several times, and entertaining family and friends over the years. He brought a lot of adventure to our family with his often bumbling ways, but always laughing at himself, making jokes about it all. A few days after Larry's passing, I had a vivid dream of seeing him in heaven. In my dream, he looked like he did in his 40s or 50s. He had a great smile on his face, appearing peaceful, healthy, and vibrant. This is how we all not want to remember him. I can imagine that he's probably up in heaven having fun and joking with the angels. Over the last number of years, every time I would talk with him, he always related how blessed he was for his kids and grandkids, all of you, and how much they made him so proud. Thank you, kids and grandkids, for being there, loving him, and making such an impact on his life. I thank God he is free of all of the effects of the heart and cancer issues ending his life. Once Larry knew his death was inevitable, he expressed to me he was ready to go and wanted to go quickly. God gave him his desire. Happy 80th birthday, Larry. I will see you soon.
What's the Larry Rostocil?
Thank you, Mom.
Do you see Larry Rostocil trying to connect on the screen?
No.
Yes, I've seen it this whole time.
That was beautiful, Grandma.
Yeah. Larry, thank you so much, Janet, for Larry.
Okay, who's logged in as Larry
Brad with the
Rostocil?
phone. Is it Brad with his phone?
Somebody.
Or is somebody pulling a prank like Papa would pull a prank? Okay. Now's the time we're gonna give an opportunity for anyone to share who'd like to share. Of course, you don't have to share, but you're certainly welcome to. If you'd like to share, unmute your button and go ahead and say what you'd like to say. This is a great time for us to just remember, celebrate, to grieve, for closure, and just to honor his life.
Well, I'd like to say that I just remember just such wonderful adventures that we had with him. Not as many of you kids had, I'm sure, but what ones that we did have, he was always the fun uncle. And we just had so much fun, except for the time that Vern got rolled up on the beach, with the with the inner tube behind the boat. But oh my gosh, so much fun. And we just enjoyed him being able to live right next door to us for so many years. I can't even remember how many years, but what a blessing that was for us to be able to have that time and just get to know him at a greater level, because living so far apart for all the years growing up, we didn't get that many opportunities, but that was really a blessing for us to be able to have that time with him.
Thank you, Sherry.
Well, I guess I can go. I had a really unique opportunity to get to live with Papa for 2 years, and I think I'm the only grandchild that got to actually live in the same house with him for 2 years, which was an adventure for sure. To live with and it was my first time living with a 70-year-old man that was really set in his ways, but he was one of the most generous people, willing to open his home for me so that I could live with him to do school of ministry in Reading. And I remember coming home and we would be sitting down. He's like, "Do you want to watch a movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah." We'd start a movie, and then about 10 minutes into it, "Hey, Brianna, pause the movie. And then he would just go on like a 10-minute rant about something that he had memory or something. And then we would talk, and then I'd be like, "Okay, you ready to keep watching the movie?" "Yes, let's keep watching the movie." And I think there's just so many, it's so hard to kind of just come up with one memory, but there's just so many precious memories with Papa. Riding in his red convertible, which is now Soraya's. So, and you had to wear a red hat while you were in the red convertible. And being able to, I remember I'd bring friends over and Papa he had this little sniffer, and that anybody who walked in the door, they had to pass the smell test. and he'd press the button to see if they were good for noses or if they were like hot trash. And that was the check-in to see if they were able to walk into the door. But yeah, Papa was, I think I really started learning, just realizing after my first grandma passed away, I just realized that grandparents are so special. And being so far away, it's so hard to stay in contact. So I would try on a weekly basis to try and give Papa a call, because I think his love language is phone calls. And you don't even have to talk. You could just let him do all the talking and he'll just feel really loved. But he was such a gift to my life. And on that last little clip from the video I had, back in August, was like, I need to record some audio. I have 35 still voicemails of his on my voicemail, because Papa would just think of people and just call them and just wanted to talk to them and just check in. So I have not deleted those voicemails, but I had recorded about a 38-minute clip from one of our conversations, which I was able to give you guys about a 3-minute clip of that. But it was, I found since he's passed, I've had these urges just to give him a call and realize, oh, I can't do that anymore. And it hurts my heart, but yeah, it's I remember the last phone call we had, he called me on Valentine's Day. I was with TJ. By the way, this is my fiance TJ, for those who haven't met him yet. So yeah, we're getting married in July. But yeah, I remember we were in the car and I was like, oh, my papa's calling me, I need to answer. Little did I know that would be a week and a half before he died. And it was Valentine's Day, and he was just like, Brianna, I just wanted to call you and tell you you're such a great granddaughter. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. And if I don't get to see you or talk to you again before I die, just know that I'll see you in heaven, and I love you. And that was the last time I talked to Papa. And I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, he's a very special man. So yes, that's it.
Sharon?
No.
Well said, Brianna. Someone else?
All right, so I will go. Hi guys. I also got to live with Papa, so we had a very special relationship, and I would say that me and Papa's relationship was very playful. We had a lot of laughs together, and he was so kind and so thoughtful and generous in letting me and my sisters stay with him while we went to school out there. And we would be in the kitchen making coffee, and somehow we came up with the rumpa pum bump dance. I don't know why, but he just like would sway his hips, and then he like came up with the rumpa pum bump, and he did it every time we would visit or see him. So it was really funny. That was a thing that we shared. And yeah, Papa just always brought so much joy and laughter. He would always call me and be like, "Hey, Brittany, is your life still going to the dogs?" And or he would call, and my voicemail is like, "Hello, hello, oh, I got you," and he would fall for it every time. So every time he would leave a voicemail, I'd be like, "Brittany, hello, I'm here." You know, it's really fun. But yeah, I just wanted to share that I really loved Papa, and we had a really special relationship, and loved spending time with him. And I tried to pull pranks on him too. I did the sneeze prank on him, which is a famous video we have out there.
I'm gonna watch it later.
And yeah, we had a lot of laughs. So, which he totally felt for that, by the way. So
You'll see that in a few minutes in the video.
but yeah, so just wanted to share. He's very special to me, and he's very missed. So
That video is hilarious, I gotta say. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Okay, who's next?
I'm sorry, it's me again. But I cannot forget the time that he came to our family reunion as a bum. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
That was so crazy. I think Grandma and Grandpa almost shooed him away, or maybe made a plate of food for him, but said he needed to leave because this was our family reunion and he was interrupting. Oh, it was so believable.
What's crazier about that is Dad, we drove up there earlier to be at the site and we had to pick up Dad at the airport because he was still working. So when we went to go pick up Dad at the airport, it's one of the days you could go out to the gate. So we went out to the gate to wait and Dad didn't get off the plane. But everybody who was getting off the plane kept hanging around. They weren't going to the baggage claim. And then this dirty old man comes out with this long wig and these dark glasses and a big old stogie out of his mouth. And he comes and hangs around Christy and I. And my mom's going, girls, get away, get away. And then all he had to do was smile. And we knew that that was Dad. But the funny thing was, before, when the plane was landing, he goes back to the bathroom, puts on a ski vest, puts on a shirt over his ski vest, puts on a wig and dark glasses, makes his face dirty, and he's doing all this and he goes back to his seat that way. You could never do that nowadays, but he was always crazy. And then he did the prank when we were at the reunion. Or the anniversary. It was crazy.
And the passengers from the flight, when they had exited the plane, they stuck around because they wanted to see what he was going to do because they saw this transformation. And so they got off the plane and then they all stood around while he was one of the last to get off, and they wanted to see what was going on. So they had a good laugh out of it too.
And I shoot him away.
Grandma said he tried to kiss her.
Yeah, I shoot him away, and the people were laughing, and I mean it was really embarrassing.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Anyone else? Who else would like to share?
Okay, I'll go, but we're having computer issues, so let me know, give me a thumbs up if you can't hear me.
We can hear you.
But I just wanted to say how much I personally love Papa, and just the first time that I met Papa when Jeff and I had just started dating, he was so embracing and welcoming and loving. And oh, can you guys still see me? Can you guys hear me? Because I can't see you.
Yes, we can. We can hear you and see you.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, this is so weird. Okay. Anyway, and I think from that day on, I think I would always tell Jeff, I love your dad. And I would just want to hug him and be next to him and be affectionate with him. And from that day on, he's always welcomed me into the family and treated me like his own daughter. He'd always give me birthday cards and Christmas gifts. And then when we had kids, he was just the best Papa to them and brought his laughter and his love and his jokes and his humor to them, but also really wanted to see them grow academically and spiritually. And I think that was such a blessing for me to see, as someone who's been brought into the family, to have her father-in-law want to pour into my children just as much as he poured into his own children. And so he just brought a lot of joy to my life and our family's life, and certainly miss him. I think there's been several weeks where I'm like, Jeff, have you called your dad? And I have to stop myself because obviously he can't. But Papa was such a joy, and I have such treasured memories with him, and I look forward to seeing him in heaven.
Thanks, babe. You're the most beautiful on here. You know that? Everyone's beautiful, but you're the most beautiful. I'm a little biased for sure.
Well, hey, I just wanted to say real quick, by the way, I thought my wife was the prettiest on the line, but okay. But no, just Dad was an amazing man. I remember getting to that point where I asked him for Kathy's hand in marriage, and we've always had just a great rapport with one another. He's a man of character. I know he's always trying to give me encouragement through life, and always wanting to give me tools. Whether I asked for them or not, he was always just wanting to help in ministry and the things that I were dealing with, or counseling with people or whatever. But I will miss him dearly. Do miss him dearly. Miss our conversations. And I would call him and say, "Hey, Dr. Larry Rostocil," and he loved that. He would always crack up and start laughing. And but we'll miss him. Do miss him. And like I said, man of character, a man of honor, man of purity. And he modeled very well, very well for all of us, what it means to be a man of God. And always will honor him. Oh, I'll tell you, she just reminded me of a story recently where he was out here a couple of years ago, and he was sitting in the backyard with Kathy, and I had went into the house and I got my drone out while they were out sitting around the pond, and I brought the drone out in front of him, and I actually brought it down, and he was like, "That's illegal," because he thought somebody from another property was spying on him. And he goes, "That's illegal." And he was really getting upset. He goes, he brought his fingers up as to shoot the drone. He's going, bang, bang, bang. And he kept doing it. And it was pretty hilarious. And finally I come in and sit down next to him, and I had the controls to the drone. And he looks over to me and he goes, I said, "Dad, it's me." And so anyways, it was pretty hilarious. And but got one on him for a change. So
Thanks, bro, for sharing that. Someone else want to go? Don't forget to unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Can y'all hear me and see me?
Yes, we can, Roger.
Oh, awesome. I just want to say to the whole family, I miss him as much as you guys did. It was an honor to know him, to watch him, to be his good friend. I loved him a lot. And he was a good guy, just a great guy. And I just thoroughly enjoyed his relationship with him. Since he was my neighbor for so many years, as well as you guys' neighbor. But we had a lot of great conversation, a lot of joy, a lot of laughter, a lot of memories together that we would talk about, and we just really had a good time. And I just really do miss him, but it really was a pleasure to see and know him. And I just really he was just a great guy, and I just really enjoyed him as a friend, and also as Royal Ranger leader, and obviously a church leader. So, but anyways, I miss all you guys. I haven't seen you in such a long time. And Jeff, when you used to work for me, I still remember those days.
Good days,
anyways,
good times.
Yeah, I love you guys all, and it's good to see your families.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you for your words, and thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks.
We love you too, Roger.
Anyone else? We don't want to put any pressure on anybody, but we want to make room for your for you if you want to say something. Okay, I'll give it a couple more seconds.
I'll tell a story.
Okay, son.
Can you hear him?
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this was probably how many years, Mom? This is probably like 6. I'm probably more than 6. For like 7 years ago.
18, 19. Okay, it was a few years ago.
Like 6, 7 years ago. Papa was over staying at our house for probably a week, and that particular weekend, I had a baseball game, and Soraya had a gymnastics meet the whole day. Soraya had her session, and then right after hers was Hadara's, and they happened to kind of fall around the same time. So what we had decided on is that you guys would go to the meet, and then I would be at my baseball game, and then after it's over, Papa would pick me up, and then we would drive to the meet and finish watching it with you guys. We were thinking we'd make it in time for about like half of Soraya's and then all of Hadara's meet. But the one hitch was Papa had forgotten his phone at his house when he came to visit us, so we didn't have any GPS. So our only means of transportation was a map, and we quickly got lost. It should have been about an hour drive. It probably took about 3 hours, probably maybe more. We made multiple stops at gas stations, asking people where to go. We got misdirections so many times, and by the time we got there, we had missed both meets, and we had no way of contacting anyone, so they had no idea what happened to us. What?
The parking lot was empty.
and we were so late, the parking lot was already empty. But we had made it.
Great story.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Kiani. Our favorite line was at the end when you said the parking lot was empty.
Anyone else want to share? Either way, it's good to see your faces tonight. I'll give a few more seconds just in case you've been waiting, holding out. Should I share something? It's getting late. I don't want to take up any time. This is your time to do it. It's okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna just in a minute. We're gonna watch a video. One of Dad's favorite memories that he spoke of a lot was his 80th birthday party. We threw a party for him when he turned 80, and the whole family was able to get together. I think most of us were there, the immediate family, and he felt really honored, and he had a great time, and so he always spoke fondly of that. So I think we have a video of that event and maybe a few other things in there. But I just wanted to end with this. You know, Dad, he lived his life to serve the Lord, and now he's with the King of the universe, where we all hope to be as well. But one of the ways that we can honor his life is by honoring his desire for us. And as one of the patriarchs, least of our family, he prayed for us, and he led by example of what it meant to serve the Lord. He didn't do it perfectly. He had his foibles, like we all do, but he was faithful to the end. And I know a lot of people who have served the Lord for a period of time, and then life just sort of gets in the way. The seed maybe didn't fall on the best ground, and towards the end of their life they were bitter, or they were jaded, or they were angry. And Dad's life was not that. It was more the opposite. The older he got, the more faithful he sought to be to the Lord, and now he is reaping the reward of that. And so my encouragement to all of us is to continue strong in your walk with the Lord. We're probably all at different places, and maybe some of us are at a really close point. Maybe some of us are still wondering and trying to get back on track. But I want to encourage you that you're never too late to continue to follow Christ, and to turn away from things that are so temporary and frivolous. And if Dad could speak now, he would say how unimportant it was to have those nice cars or houses or accolades, or any of those things matter not compared to what eternity is and what's important in eternity. And so I just want to encourage all of us to continue to seek the Lord. And as we get older, we're all getting older, to seek the Lord with all your heart. And it's not too late to continue to press in to his word and to his will of your life. And I want you to know you have a family that is cheering you on, and we're with you. And someday, hopefully, we'll have this meeting in person in heaven together. And I want to see all of you there. And so my encouragement is, the way to honor Dad's life is to honor the way he'd have us live. And I just want to encourage you and your children, grandchildren, and whoever's watching this recording, to honor Dad's life by honoring the faith that he walked in, and try to seek to walk in that same faith. So with that said, is there anyone else who'd like to share something? And otherwise, we're going to turn to the video, and then that'll be the end. I know if you have to get going, it is getting late, and I've got to go. I'm not going to go, but I have to hop in the car here. I'm still going to be online with us, but if you have to get going, we're so great that you were here tonight. If you're able to stay on and watch the video, please do. We may end up talking at the end as well, so you're welcome to stay with us. I know it's late for the Florida group, so we love you all. If we don't get a chance to say bye, we love you, and we'll see each other soon. So can we cue up that video?
Wait. 1 second.
Okay.
Jeff, can you hear me? Jeff?
I hear you.
Okay, remember we were going to pray for the family?
Thank you. Yes, you're right. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. You want me to lead with that?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yeah.
Let's pray before we start this video. Father, we know that we have a Father in heaven. As we think about my dad and our dad, who is not with us, he was just an example of your heavenly goodness to us. And you are the best and greatest and most wonderful Father there is. And we thank you that we have, no matter what kind of dad we have, whether a good dad or not so good, or our relationship was good with him, we know that we have a heavenly Father that is our dream daddy. And we ask that our revelation of you would grow, and that our relationship with you would grow. And Father, I pray over this family. I thank you for what Dad stood for and what he lived for. And may the blessings of his life, the generational blessings, the example that he gave, may it be spread to all of us, Father. And what Dad walked in would be something that is multiplied in us, and we would carry that, Lord, as he followed Christ, that we would follow Christ even more so, Father, that we would take what he's done and we would run with it, Father. And I ask that the blessings, those generational blessings, we just speak them over the children and grandchildren, and over mom and the extended family and aunts, uncles, cousins, all that knew Dad, and friends, We ask that the dad's life would matter, that it wouldn't be just something that is forgotten and then that's it, Lord, that those seeds that he sowed, those prayers that he prayed, the example that he was, Lord, would be multiplied in our hearts, Lord. And I ask that you would bring a preservation over this family, and this family would continue to walk in the ways of God, and that the blessings would fall down on us, Lord, tenfold, 100-fold. And we just speak that over our family, and we speak that over our lives and each one of our families, Lord. And we thank you for Dad's example, and let us walk in the example of Christ. As he followed Christ, we also can see his example, and we follow Christ as well. And we're grateful for him. We're grateful for you in our lives, Father. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, I'm gonna cue up the video.
Thank you.
Oh, let me get out of this for a second.
Not to get come. I get to come up close and see you all. All right. Yeah, let me stop sharing for a second and get back to this. Multiple screens. Pause. Share. All right.
Your phone.
Can you guys hear the sound? Okay.
dead.
Happy birthday, Papa. We just have a few nice things to say about you. You're hilarious. You're generous.
You have a sassy sense of humor.
You're funny when you do your pretty ugly thing.
And I appreciate your thoughtfulness. You're always looking out to care for us, and you're generous and helping us in so many ways.
And you're just such a great father and grandfather, and thank you how much you've cared for me and my family. And we just want to say
Happy birthday! We love you.
Hi, Papa. Happy birthday. Dad, I want to say how much I love you and appreciate you. You've been a true father to me, and you've taught me so many things over life. If I went through the list, this video would be so long. You've taught me how to fix things. You've taught me how to be a man. Most of all, you've taught me how to serve Christ with all my whole heart. And as I look at your life from when you were a boy to mid-age to now your age, you have been faithful to the Lord all the days of your life, and you've left me with that legacy, and I want to say thank you for that.
Papa, I just love you because you are so loving and generous and kind and thoughtful. You always shower us with love and food and gifts when you come to see us, and I love that about you.
Papa, do you remember when we were driving to the girls' meet and then we got lost on the road? Well, you never gave up there, and that's what I like about you. You never gave up there, you never gave up in life.
Papa, what I like about you is that you're funny, you're generous, and you're kind.
We're so happy and grateful for your life and our relationship with you, Papa. We treasure you and we honor you. Happy 80th.
Love you.
We love you.
Congratulations and happy birthday, Dad. 80 years, that's quite an accomplishment. I am praying for you for this next year, that you'll be healthy, happy, and for another great year ahead. I hope you know how much I love you.
Happy 80th birthday, Papa! Papa, we just wanted to say that we love you so much, and I thank you so much for all that you've given to us and given to me, and your generosity, as well as just all the fun conversations we've been able to have, and all of those flashlights.
Yeah. And thank you, Papa, for showing me how to appropriately wear a thong. And
Thongs.
Thongs, yes, important distinction. And you just all the time and wise words you've given me and all of the advice, it's really made a difference in who I am today, and I appreciate that. Love you.
Dad, I just want to say how blessed I was to be able to be born into your seed line and to be your daughter. You've been such a faithful, loving father, and I couldn't have asked for a funner father. Thank you for making life funny and making memories and making vacations a priority, and just for being you. I love you and so value you, and I am so grateful to the Father for giving me such a wonderful dad. I love you.
Happy birthday, Papa. Thank you for showing me the bump. And I just want to thank you for the joy that you are and the love that you give to us and how generous and kind you are, and just want to wish you a happy birthday.
Dr. Rostocil, we love you. We thank God for you. I personally want to just thank you. You're absolutely, positively the best father-in-law a guy could have. And we just love you and celebrate your life and who you are. And we want to sing one last song.
Happy birthday to you.
Yo, daddy, yo. I can't believe you're 80. Whoa, put your thongs on and drop it low. Grab that flashlight and let it glow. You're looking mighty fine, like aged wine. It's your birthday, hey, hey. It's your birthday, hey, hey. It's your birthday, hey, hey. We get to celebrate Larry.
Happy birthday, Papa. Say happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Say, I love you. Say,
Bless you. Bless you. Guess you got some spices in your nose or something.
He's got snot all over me.
Brittany!
What's wrong with you, Brittany? Here. Do it on your arm.
Bless you.
Snotty little
Thank you.
I got her germs and viruses all over.
Brittany!
That's enough for divorce.
You don't aim your snot at somebody, Brittany.
She thinks it's funny. In the wrong channels, you would be out of fellowship.
Are you okay? That's not funny.
It's not funny.
Oh, yeah. So where's our mark? Oh, he left it.
So I think I saw that Soraya got picked up in the car. Good to
There
see
she
you.
is. Yeah.
Well, a funny thing, really quick side note on the sneeze prank. We never told Papa that it was a prank. So for the longest time, he thought that Brittany sneezed on him. And then one day he was visiting here home, and Mom showed him that video, and that's when he realized that it was a prank. I personally just want to say thank you to every single one of you who came to be a part of celebrating Dad. We love each and every one of you, and you guys are such a beautiful part of our family. And it's so great to see Jimmy and Joni. She's still here. I don't know all the McFarland side of the family, and thank you guys and for joining us in honor of celebrating Dad. We love you guys. You guys always have a place in our heart. So thank you for being a part.
Come visit us in Florida.
If you need a good excuse, you can come in July.
Hey, I want to say thank you for all the grandkids, for all the work and the videos. That was awesome. And the money, you don't even know who I am, but I obviously grew up with your parents, and I never got to meet any of you really. Nolan stole Kathy away from us, so took him all the way to Florida. But anyways, that was awesome, you guys, and I really do appreciate it. That was really a joy to me, and that was just a lot of work, and I want to thank you.
We love you, Roger. Love you, Sherry. Love you, Jimmy and Heather.
And Dan.
Dan and R. And Uncle Sherry, Beltane. And wherever Larry Rostocil is, his name is on the list. So
where's Uncle Mike?
Yeah, we didn't see Mike.
He's sick.
Oh no.
Sorry.
He's listening.
We love you, Mike.
I concur. I want to concur. I just thank you for all who participated and who were able to watch in, and all the family. We love you. I'm in the car with Soraya now, and we don't have anything else planned, but we can hang out and still continue to talk. But you all are part of our family, and even though we don't get a chance to see everyone as often as we like, it hasn't changed our love for everybody. So thank you all for honoring my dad.
Glad to see everyone.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you guys.
Love you, Melton.
They were waving.
Well, it's almost midnight over here, so I think we're the host. I think we're gonna head out, which means that you guys probably won't be able to talk anymore. I'm so sorry. But we love you.
We should schedule something again. Have a family event on Zoom.
That would be great. Or even something in person.
Yeah, just come to Florida.
Yes, come. I have an extra room. All set up.
Okay, well, we'll sign off as well. Thank you for hosting and for all the hard work into this.
I'll try to find
Good night, everyone.
I'll try to find to get a load to Florida. See you guys.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Bye bye. And
All
see you.
right,
Hey, Jan.
all right, bye,
Love
everybody.
you, Jan.
Love you too.
All right.
Night.
Night.